I don't sleep around. I never slept around.
Oh, okay.
That's a major sin to me.
It's a major sin?
Yes.
But do you kiss around?
Kiss.
Nah.
You can kiss me, but I mean, it's like...
How?
You cannot deep throat kiss me.
Kiss is kiss.
Do you know that if a man's engine has knocked, the man has his hands, he can still satisfy his wife.
But the woman say it's not the same thing.
The income minimum wage, they need to revisit it.
But the minimum wage now is 80,000.
It's still too small.
Doesn't even buy a bowl of beans.
I like obedience. I like Obi. You know why I like Obi? He's the one governor that didn't live with what do they call this retirement package.
Oh, really?
He doesn't have a retirement package. And then he left money in the coffers.
Yes. Hi, Kenny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jimmy?
The thing about calling you Kenny, because every time you call in to programs, I've always wondered what it would be like if I had to send you a formal letter. What the surname would be. You know, it reminds me of a guy called Chiwezu who used to work in The Guardian.
Yes.
And Chiwezu had no surname.
For real?
For real. He had no surname. It was just Chiwezu. And that was it. You have a surname, don't you?
Of course I do.
Most people do you as just Kenny. So what's the surname?
Well, I'm Kenechi Ohanaeze.
Ohanaeze.
Yes, Miss Kenechi Ohanaeze.
Is that your dad's or your husband's?
That's my maiden name.
That's your maiden name,
Yeah.
okay. And so what's your other name?
Oh, my other name, Kenny Isiago. That's what most people that worked with me know me as, Kenny Isiago.
Okay. And so what do we call you now? Kenny Isiago or Kenny?
Well, because it's still the same first name, Kenny. It depends on if you're wanting to be formal about it, but I'm good with Kenny.
They're good with Kenny.
I'm good.
People will be wondering why I'm making such a fuss about the surname. It's because, usually ladies, well, they're so these days they are touchy about their father's names and their husband's names. Do you think, for example, since you seem to be a Diabumi specialist, do you think whether it's out of place for women to want to stick to their professional names?
I don't think so. I don't think it's out of place
To
stick to their professional name.
To stick to their maiden names, yes.
Well, usually when somebody gets married, it's actually honor that you're giving to your husband by taking his name. So when you
you don't think it's honor that the guy's giving you to allow you to use his name?
Okay, we could look at it from that angle too. He's honoring you, giving you his last name, although by default, that is what is expected to happen. So sometimes women insist on holding on to the maiden name. Sometimes maybe they've made a name, in their career or whatever. It may be something they're known for. And so they insist on holding on to that name. And I think that might actually create the beginning of animosity.
You think so?
Yes, I think so. I think sometimes men don't speak up on time. They'll just count it, one strike,
Oh, you have a sense that most men will feel uncomfortable?
Not most, some men.
Some men, okay, would feel uncomfortable with their
wives sticking to their maiden name. Yes, I think so.
But I don't think it would matter to me. Though, I tell you this, some men are very touchy, especially if the women are successful.
Yes.
And there was once a guy who was touchy because he was always described as the man who married so and so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they say, oh, so and so's husband, and they made him feel uncomfortable.
Really, you know how it is that generally speaking, the man is the breadwinner. Generally speaking, the man is the most visible in the family. Generally speaking, he's the one that is at the front. And so when a woman sometimes becomes more visible than her husband, yeah, she has to she's dealing with something, and she has to be very, very careful, because it's not everybody that's like you, Jimmy. I hope you don't mind me calling you Jimmy on this.
Well, you can call me
Yeah.
Jimmy.
So,
you can add my surname to it.
Jimmy this.
Yeah, it makes
I think it's a very nice.
It sounds very sweet.
Yes, Jimmy this. So yeah, I mean, it's like, so when a woman first of all, I think they should have had a conversation.
You think it's something you need to talk about
you
before?
need to talk about it before you get married, and then so that the guy doesn't feel that you sprung it on him. There's some men that are a bit touchy, and some people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, what's the big deal? There's some men that love strong, powerful women, and some men don't.
I like powerful women because in growing up, the women that I adored the most close to me, like my aunt,
Yes.
was a very powerful. My aunt was
Yes.
very, very powerful in her own way. But
Yes.
she had a very nice way of, very smart women are in charge at the driver's seat, but they make you think that you are the one sitting in the owner's corner.
Absolutely.
There's a famous listener. No, there's a famous participant in the Dear Bumi that I do, Mrs. Fashano.
Yes.
And she is reported to have quoted that if you want a man to take the window out, show him the door.
Can you see?
You think men
That
are
is
like
deep.
that? Yeah.
That is deep.
Women are very powerful.
They are. But you know what? Where she's coming from a position of experience. Because what she's saying is that you tell him this because you anticipate that he will do that. But it's not every man that is like that.
No, yeah,
She's talking based on her own experience.
when things like that are being said, it's just law of averages.
Absolutely.
A man will do this.
Absolutely.
You are powerful. You get by little interaction with you. You're a very powerful woman. You always get what you want.
We pray, oh Lord.
You do what?
We pray, oh Lord.
We pray, oh Lord. I'm telling you as a fact. I mean,
Thank you. Should I take it as a compliment, though?
Well, you should take it carefully and think about it because you tend to have the way of getting everything that. Do you think that you're specially treated?
I do. I think I think I just have. Let me tell you what happened one time when I was working. One of the places I worked. Somebody approached me one day and said, Kenny, can you just put that thing you always put on your mouth and then talk for us? So it's like, yeah, I know I have a way with words because first of all, I think it's my nature, number one. And then second of all, I think is the extensive training I've been through and then the environment.
What kind of training are you talking about?
I'm talking about soft skills.
Okay.
And these soft skills, they were just open to me, particularly when I worked at JP Morgan Chase Bank. I had opportunity. My training was it was at my fingertips. I could go for any training I wanted to. I just decided, okay, this is critical to my role. And I just sign up for it and appear for the training. So
what was the job at JP Morgan?
I would put it in layman's terms as customer experience. It's all
Okay.
about owning the customer's experience. And it was hinged on the strategy of using a service as a strategic tool for cornering the market and beating competition. A lot of people don't know that if you get service right, you pretty much have expanded your bottom line, effortlessly, because then you have referrals. Because I worked in a bank and it's all about referrals. It's all about owning the customer service experience. When I first started with the bank, it was Chase Bank. Our payoff was the right relationship is everything. And you can imagine that. So we were just treating our customers, with kids' gloves, like royalty. And then we now merged with JP Morgan.
This sounds like a sales pitch.
Oh, then I better stop because. But what I'm just saying in essence is that
I just
you have to cut in right there.
No, no, I just kind of wanted to know what your experience at work was like.
My experience at work was, it was
When
awesome.
did you leave? When did you leave?
I left JP Morgan Chase on the 17th of October, 2007. That was
Oh,
when, yes.
okay.
Then came back home.
Was it because of your sight you had to leave JP Morgan?
Oh no, my sight was perfect. I had good sight. It was basically I had to relocate back home because I had gone across outside the country, and most of the time when we traveled over there, we decided at that point. Let me put it this way: before we traveled over there, I had just lost my dad, and my dad was my best friend. And it was devastating for me, and I needed a change in environment. So by the time I went over with my three sons at that point, the youngest one was about 8 weeks old. I decided, well, maybe I should decide, redo my papers to stay. And so in the course of doing that, of course, once you put in the application, they will give you the employment authorization document. So I was, working legally. It wasn't like I was an illegal person. So I was working legally and following the process. So at the end of the process, it became convoluted because one lady was, she was just very, I don't know what it was, but she was not happy I was about to get my papers, and then she put a curveball to it. I was like, never mind. I just threw in the towel and came back home. I didn't bother, fighting.
What was it? Was a renewal?
It was a renewal, yes. Employment authorization renewal, but now to get the permanent residency document. She threw a curveball at me that I didn't expect.
And then so you came home.
So I just decided to pack up and come home. And then I started working in Nigeria. The funny thing, the first time I went to the bank, I went to Bank PHB.
Yeah.
As an old girl of Queen's College. I went there.
Queen's College girls always have to. They always must put that in so that people.
No. The reason why I said
yes,
that,
I mean,
there is a reason why I said that. I'll tell you.
But
you find out in a little
you will
bit.
agree it's a mark of the Queen's College girl to always say, okay, we've noted that. Let's go on.
Well, but what's gonna follow you will explain. So when I was at the counter, I was cashing a check, and lo and behold, this lady looked me in the face and I said, "Did you go to QC?" I said, "Yes." She said, "You haven't changed." So my face is still the same. I look exactly how I was in Queen's College. Are you kidding me? She even told me the set I was in. So it was clear. She told me the house and everything. So I took opportunity. I mean, as a member of Toastmasters, you always look for opportunities to present yourself and sell yourself. So I said, you know what? I did this. I gave her a 2-minute advertisement of what I had done at JP Morgan Chase Bank, and then I wanted to start doing, training and, cascading this kind of experience and soft skills, particularly, using service as a strategic tool to corner the market. And she was like, you know what, coincidentally, that they had talked about this only last week. And she just referred me to HR. From that day, within a week, I got a job.
Okay.
Yes, because I was fast-tracked immediately. I saw the MD. The MD was like, he couldn't believe that, what they had just discussed, and here is the person in flesh and blood. And that was it. And that's how I just came on board with JP Bank PAB. So that is why I said as Queen's College. But yes.
But noted.
But sometimes you actually throw it in just when you deduce that maybe someone might be a fellow.
Is this such a big deal to have gone to a school like Queen's College?
I just like the school I went to.
I think so. You don't need to be.
I just like the school I went to.
Yeah, you don't.
And I don't have any reservations.
So was it when you were in Bank PHB
that my vision?
That you lost your vision there?
Oh no, I still had my vision in Bank PHB. It was after I left Bank PHB. There was a rationalization in Bank PHB. Here it is, this lady that comes in. They said I spoke like Obama. And to be frank with you, the way I came into the bank, how somebody just suddenly appeared, she's pretty. So they assumed that I knew the MD before and that he just brought me in. So, and then I was doing wonders with service and they couldn't get it. Some people actually felt threatened and they were senior to me. You see, the impact I had, this is how it happened. When I joined the bank, our ATMs were nothing to write home about. And there were a number of things that, we had challenges with, but the branding was excellent. So we had to align the service with the branding. And that's where I came in. So I put myself in the system and started helping to align service. And in 1 week, only 1 week, a double-digit error rate was slammed down to the lower single digits. And one thing happened. When we came into our usual weekly meetings with our executive director, the guy that was in charge of pulling the metrics and slicing and dicing and crunching numbers, he was like, Oga, well, in Bank PHB, we call ourselves by our name. So she called him by his name and said, you know what? The numbers just came down. And the guy was like, oh, he just came down like that. He was like, yeah. And then it was during the meeting that the guy announced that customer experience, which was the name of my unit, was responsible for bringing it down. You see, customer experience, owning your customer experience is all about making the other lines of business within the organization.
So how did this lead
good.
to you having to leave the bank?
Because after the rationalization, of course, all the executives were let go. The MD.
Oh, really?
MD. Oh, yeah, the MD. That's what happens when SLS came on. Yes. So he rationalized somehow. They just let go, first of all, the executive set, because they had to do this rationalization in terms of, I think the money aspect, something, whatever it was they did. My own was just focused on service. So what I had done, I had successfully transited the bank from, being a bank that if you go to the ATM, your card is either going to be eaten or your money is going to be debited and you're not going to get it back. They now started having a seamless flow of service. And I had helped a different line of business to do it. So there was this person that was jealous because they were in charge of that. They couldn't do anything about it. And there was this other person that was jealous because he was feeling threatened that, okay, if I'm performing wonders within the bank like that, and then other departments in the bank were all pulling for my service. Oh, Kenny, this is happening in something. Can we put customer experience in this so that put it? So I was getting so much visibility and they didn't like it. And I wasn't.
And so there was a move. Were they identifiable?
I know the people. I know the person that did it. And I know how they did it.
But when you left Bank PHB, you went to work somewhere else.
When I left Bank PHB, I was still at home when I got an offer from CBN as an assistant director.
Okay.
I was headhunted and it appeared in the mail. One Sunday, I had actually, within that time frame, at that point, my husband was ill. He was critically ill, and we had started going to a certain church. And I had prayed with my whole heart. And I had this feeling of, oh, God has answered my prayer. I was full of joy. I came back home, and this happened on a Wednesday. And on a Sunday, I got a phone call from CBN offering me a job.
Which you took?
Which I took.
Okay.
And then I gave a testimony. And CBN was. And the funny thing is about that church, when printed it out in the mail, in the newsprint, and it was, the governor of Central Bank gave a job to someone without an interview or whatever. It was a very, very controversial.
Who was the Central Bank governor then?
SLS, Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi.
Did you know him personally?
I did not know him. I never met him before.
Well, he went to KC.
I know he went to KC, and that's one beautiful thing, King's College, KC, but I didn't know him at all.
So it was because SLS employed you, that's why you were That's what brought about the problem.
Is it no? What brought about the problem was that I gave a testimony. That I didn't interview.
At the church.
Yeah, the church, and then they now carried it. Now, city people. I don't know how. Maybe they got the. And another thing is that the testimony was written in such a dramatic way. That was between the devil and the deep blue sea, that, and I never said that, just say what I said. But long story short, they really made it very explosive. I hope I'm not gesticulating too much because sometimes.
So go on.
So yeah, they made it explosive. And so the city people now posted it right there and the governor was embarrassed. So
he said they should take you out?
Apparently, they had a board of governors meeting. And another thing is that I didn't pull my strings. I should have pulled my strings because at that point, my late uncle, he was a chairman of two prominent committees when he was in the House of Reps, late barrister Celestine Kenechi Ohanaeze. So I should have used his connection to pull strings, but I was totally distraught. I was confused. I didn't know what to do at that point in time. Because if I had brought him in and then knew that I knew somebody.
Is that the way he walks in Nigeria?
That is where he walks in Nigeria.
So you think that it was because
they thought.
But
you guess what? When I went to do my police check, doing the police check-in wherever at defense headquarters in Abuja. Immediately they saw my maiden name. The police guy doing my fingerprint and everything recognized it and asked me, was I related to this guy? That gentleman, who is late, by the way, now, is such a close kindred in that my grandfather is his father's first cousin. So we're very, very close.
Here we go with this long-rounded relative. So you never really took up the job at CBN.
I took up the job. I was sitting in the waiting room for 84 days, but they never allowed me into the system. And then the next.
So what we need, so what we can say, in truth, is that testimony sometimes one must be very careful.
Well, I guess so, but I actually didn't regret giving that testimony because that was the truth. And I don't see why they should have been so
you said if you had the opportunity, you do it again.
What I'm saying is that if I had the opportunity, I may not have said verbatim that, it's the Apex Bank, but I would have said that, yes, I was headhunted.
Must you give a testimony anyway?
Do you know why I gave a testimony?
Why? Tell me.
If you remember the woman with the issue of blood? Was it not
which one?
In the Bible?
Oh, in the Bible.
Was it not explicit?
Sorry, I thought we were talking about some woman
No.
about.
Now, I'm just going to give you the reason why I gave a testimony. The testimony about the issue of the blood was explicit. The testimony about the guy at the pool of Bethsaida was explicit. There is no testimony that was not explicit.
So yours was also explicit.
My own was explicit.
But see where it landed.
But you see something. There's one opportunity I think I missed. There was a time they called a town hall and they started talking about it. And I went for the town hall. And at that point, SLS said that, and no disrespect to him, do I need to call his full name?
Yeah. Go on.
Okay. So at that point, we were in the meeting, in a town hall meeting. SLS was there. Kingsley Moalu was there because Kingsley Moalu's directorate was where I was hired into financial system stability. And if you look at my pedigree, for goodness sake, I deserve that job. And I know my onions. And I do a very good work.
Even if you say so.
Even if I say so, yes. And so long story short, we came for the town hall. And at that point, I hadn't settled in. I hadn't gotten my home yet. I was still living somewhere with a relative that I was driving a long distance to their house. I wasn't sure who to trust, whether I would be traced or wherever. So I had all these things going up on my mind. And then they talked, SLS was, he made a comment and then about a testimony. And then the director of HR said, well, that he has, he said something along those lines. I think that was the opportunity I missed. I should have just tapped in on the phone, on the microphone, and just stated my pedigree in a rap nutshell and what I wanted to do for the bank. Because what I wanted to do for the bank when I got there, number one, the electronic system in terms of, the time frame used for resolving issues with ATM issues.
Which bank now?
I'm talking about now with CBN, because
CBN,
at CBN I had the opportunity to control the entire nation.
So you never actually got around to doing
They
the work.
missed the opportunity.
That's what you think.
They did.
Was there any insinuation that maybe you had something to do with that?
It could have been. Yes, actually, he mentioned it in the town hall. He said that his wives thought I was his old girlfriend. Just like, I'm telling you, just like in the bank, when I was in Bank PHP, the way I came in, just as I explained to you, they thought that was Francis Atuche's former girlfriend.
Oh, so how come you have these things about...
People think...
Well, we might as well say that in info, they would have thought that maybe you're my former girlfriend.
That is it. Most people would think that. You see...
Does that worry you?
It doesn't worry me at all.
Is it something that you do? Is it your mannerisms or what?
Let me tell you.
I mean, you're a pretty woman,
I'm
yes.
going to tell you, number one, I am beautiful.
Oh, you know that yourself?
I do know that I'm beautiful. Number two, I'm not fazed about my beauty. My beauty is not what I flaunt. Then number three.
But you know that.
I know I'm a beautiful woman. I do. I do, and I appreciate God for that. Then the other thing is that I know my onions. I know my job. You see, I think outside the box. Take, for instance, when I had to train the people at Bank PHP, right? On the training, I trained over 4,000 staff. And the way I did it is the approach I take is I get people's buy-in. I do not hand down and impose, because that's the background I got from JP Morgan Chase.
Before I forget, since you said you know that you're a pretty woman,
I am beautiful.
Did that knowledge affect you growing up?
It did affect me sometimes, because people will feel jealous.
You didn't feel that you should make yourself a bit ugly?
No, I didn't do that. But there was once upon a time, to tell you the way I carry myself very confidently. But you would know that I'm not putting on airs. I don't put on airs.
Oh, that's what you think?
I am convinced that I don't put on airs.
But don't you think that people might feel intimidated by your looks, your exposure? Was this a problem between you and your husband? Well, or should I say former husband?
My former husband. Well, maybe he always felt that I was too nice. But I'm nice because that's the only way there's an adage my boss used to tell me in JP Morgan Chase. He says, Kenny, you can get more honey. You can attract more flies with honey than with vinegar. So I always feel that it's good to be nice to people. And when you're nice to people, let me tell you, women love each other when we appreciate each other. If I come in with airs, nobody wants to talk to me, no matter how drop dead beautiful I am. But if I'm beautiful and then I don't come in with the attitude that, don't you acknowledge my beauty? That is when, if you don't come in with that attitude, that's when you magnet people and you are open. But one thing I must tell you is generational, because I had to put that in. It's like, I have my grandmother, when they compliment her daughter, who is my mom, they'll say, your daughter is fine. My grandmother will say, I gave birth to her.
But listen,
it's like,
pretty as you are, there is not 1 inch of makeup on you.
Because
not even lipstick.
God is faithful.
And if I take a census with the guys around here behind the cameras and things, I'm sure they'll all say a very pretty woman. And you don't use any makeup. Why?
I don't need it.
Is it because you don't need it, or it's because you don't need it, or does it have anything to do with religion? Because you're not even wearing earrings.
On my wedding day,
yes,
I was wearing earrings. I was dressed up, and I didn't have makeup.
On your wedding day?
On my wedding day, and I was wearing my glasses. So I don't make up. I don't.
So naturally, you don't use any makeup at all.
As a matter of fact, when I was in Chase Bank, God has been generous to me, and I'm not boasting. God has been generous to me. There was one time, one of the women at Chase Bank, she looked at my eyes. She says, "Did you line your eyes?" I said, "No." She said, "God, I have naturally lined eyes. God has been generous to me. God has been generous to my daughter too." Somebody saw her at the beauty shop, and she said, "Gosh, you're complete." It's a beautiful thing to be complete, and I need to carry with dignity, knowing that I appreciate God for making me beautiful. There's a reason for that.
But making, if you're so pretty and whatever, which I admit you are, then men must be buzzing around you like flies.
Not really.
Did it affect your marriage though?
Men don't.
Could your husband handle it?
My husband was extremely possessive.
I'm not surprised.
He
went around with a baseball bat or something.
I used to have to tell him anywhere I went, "Oh, I'm going to I'm going to train, I'm going for this training, I'm doing that. And I used to travel a lot, and I was always calling him. Once upon a time, when I was in Abuja on a business assignment, once I get into the hotel, I don't go out of my room. I do room service. So when I was in the room, I had ordered my dinner. I'm laughing because I feel so sorry for the steward that came in, or busboy, whoever you call those people that do this. So there it is. My husband was on the phone, and the room service was knocking on the door. So I went, I got my food. I told him, "Don't worry, I'm getting my food." I was reporting to him everything that was happening. And then, so when I opened the door, I said, he was asking me who is with me. I said, "Oh, he's just the guy that brought the food." The tray in his hand literally started shaking like this.
Why? Were you on speakerphone?
I wasn't on speakerphone, but I said to the guy's ears that they just brought food to me. That is the room service that just brought food to me. So the tray was literally shaking. I had to collect it from him.
Really? But did it get up to a point of irritation? I mean, you were closely guarded.
No, I was never irritated. I love attention.
Attention is different from supervision.
I'm not doing anything, so I don't care if you're supervising me. I don't care.
Was that why you split with him?
No, it was other reasons. It's not because of the supervision.
Money?
No, it wasn't because of money. It was.
He had another woman?
He was unfaithful, actually. He was unfaithful, and I will ask you. I would tell you. On Dear Bumi, I say you must have your ducks in a row before you confront. I would have proof. Then I would tell you. And you see, something about me is I'm telling you, not for you to deny it. I'm telling you to admit it, and then we'll put it aside and we'll move on. But if I'm telling you and then you're denying it and insinuating that I don't know what I saw or the evidence I gave, you know how you men sometimes...
I don't know how we men sometimes. Tell me.
You know how you men sometimes will say, no. Are you sure you saw?
You see, on my part I'm Yoruba.
Yeah.
You're from the East, right?
Yeah.
On my part of the Nigerian divide, it's if as long as you deny to a woman, then it means you're respecting her.
I hate that. If you deny to me, you're insulting me.
So the next next guy had better know that. Is there going to be a next guy?
There will be a next guy. I'm young, and
how old are you?
I'm 55 years old.
Oh, you look good for 55.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I almost said that you look like a nice, but I then discovered
I look like a nice.
No, I'll keep that to myself.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah. So I mean, it's like. I had something in my mind, but what I would say is that if
what did you have in your mind?
This is what I had in mind. If you lie to me, what it means to me is that you want to do it again, or you're not about to stop. That you want to continue. The Bible says, "He that covers his sins shall not prosper." but he that confesses.
Do you confess your own?
I do confess because I don't have major sins. I don't do.
Is there a major and a minor sin?
Yes. Well, let me put it this way.
Yes.
I don't sleep around.
Yes.
I never slept around.
Oh, okay.
That's a major sin to me.
It's a major sin.
Yes.
But do you kiss around?
Kiss.
Nah.
You can kiss me, but I mean, it's like
how
you cannot deep throat kiss me.
Kiss.
For goodness, have you seen Friends? Hey, my dear, have you seen Friends that do the? Is it?
Those are friends. Those are that is
So
those ones.
Okay, if a man comes and plants a kiss on my lips, I'm not going to push him away. I'll just tell him stop. I'm not going to get host. I'm not going to get host.
I'd like to end this interview and try.
Wait. Listen, I would tell you if I see you advancing, I'll be like, stop, don't do it. You know, and then if for some
stranger, would you, for example, like bite his tongue or something?
Why should I bite his tongue? Why should I inflict pain on somebody else? You know what? I feel empathy because I know that my looks can cause somebody to do stuff. So when that happens, you know, I'm not hostile. I'm not aggressive.
Okay, so you said your looks can cause somebody. Yes. What do you think is the most prominent thing about the beauty that you have?
And that is what
Is it the looks? Is it the skin? Is it...
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't take time and watch in front of the mirror and say, hey, Olewasha. I don't do that. So
no, you speak a bit of Yoruba.
Oh, yeah, I speak Mogbo Yoruba Dada. Amasibo Fuma. Inaji Hausa Kadankada. Small.
So you can go around.
Yes. But I have passable. And je parle français un peu.
What parts of Nigeria have you lived in?
Well, when I was little, we lived in Aba, then we lived in Kaduna, and we lived in Lagos.
So
most of my life, Lagos.
I've almost forgotten I was going to ask you how you lost your vision.
My vision, it was trauma. I had a traumatic marriage. I really don't want to, because he's not here to talk his own side, so let me just put it that way.
But was there physical whatever involved?
It may be unfair for me to tell you the details because he's not here to say, to refute or, rebut. So let me just say it was traumatic. And I forgive.
So you forgive him?
I forget. Because if I don't forgive, I won't look beautiful. Trust me, I'll be haggard looking.
So do you see a little or you don't see at all?
Sometimes I see shadows, sometimes I don't see. But I'm still hopeful that one day.
Yeah, because I read in the paper.
I'll see again.
I tell you a joke. It was in yesterday's Mail, I think, the Daily Mail. A guy was married and he had lost his sight. And he regained his sight, but he didn't tell his wife.
That's what I'm going to do. If I was still married, I would not tell. Because I want to watch and see.
Well, thank God I'm not marrying you, so I would be a victim.
So if I was married to him at the time I regained my sight.
But you're going to marry again, are you?
I will marry again.
You don't know how soon. Is there anybody in sight?
I keep my options open. If I'm seeing somebody right now, which I'm not going to go into that details, but I'm seeing somebody right now, I would let him know what I want, and I'll give him time to turn that bend. And then when I've given adequate time and it doesn't happen, I will hold a conversation and tell him I got to move on. I'm very communicative. And that's something about me. I tell you.
This morning on Dear Bome, we had this argument about premarital sex and so on and so forth.
About what?
Premarital sex. So I wonder if you're seeing someone, if you're sexually involved with the person.
If I'm seeing someone, I'm not sexually involved. I would not be sexually involved.
At all?
No.
So you would expect him to go to Baga to buy a vehicle, a Tokubo vehicle, and not test drive it, to just...
I like what you're saying. In the Bible, show me where it said that you should test run. The Bible is a manual.
But what we are told is that some people say that there are things in the Bible, yes, but a man has to apply wisdom.
I hate
even
that.
Even Grandma Ikorodu, if you were to call in today had said that, well, she had a situation where somebody didn't cross-check and then discovered that she married somebody whose engine had knocked.
Well, can I say something? Truly
Say
speaking,
something.
do you know that marriage is for companionship? That's the
Well,
number
sex
one
is
reason.
important. Sex is important. in
Sex is
marriage.
important, but do you know that if a man's engine has knocked, the man has his hands, he can still satisfy his wife.
But the women say it's not the same thing.
Well, if that be the case, then they need to go to
Excuse me.
bless you. They need to go to therapy and see if there's any solution for him.
Women say that nothing can replace the real thing.
Well, not just say some women.
You're not one of them.
I know. If I marry,
So if you marry a man and his engine is not working now,
if he's willing
you go look for other equipment.
I'm not even looking for equipment. His body is enough equipment. He has hands, he has fingers. That's enough equipment.
You'll make do with that.
Yes, not make do, I will enjoy. As long as he's willing to do that.
Is there somebody on the horizon? Let's identify this guy.
Is there someone on the horizon?
Because see, what's going to happen is as soon as this thing goes viral now, people are going to be asking me.
Well, let me
They'll be
put it
asking
this
for your telephone number. They'll be asking for this and that.
You know, if somebody calls me and I don't know them, I'm not as nice.
I know.
But I'm not
But
rude.
for the ones, no, you won't be rude. But for the ones who will lobby me, I'm going to make a lot of money.
Okay.
Sifting and then bringing them on.
Well, maybe I should use this as a disclaimer. If there's anyone that is in my life right now and is willing,
They should come now.
he should better come now because me,
You're available.
I'm available for him right now. But if it takes too long,
When we are talking about that, we might as well talk about your specs. So
My
that,
specs.
yes, I mean, do you want very short?
no,
or
my
tall?
specs has nothing to do with physical appearance. My specs has to do with the soul, who he is. He has to be a loving, caring guy, a listening guy, someone that is not intimidated, someone that doesn't want to control everything, someone that is there for me, someone that is truthful, someone that I will catch him pants down and he'll say, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, so you don't mind somebody you will catch?
If I catch
He can
you,
say sorry 6
yes,
times.
and I forget it. The Bible says forgive 70 times, 7 times. And I'm an advocate for that.
I will tell you, that's a very good something, If you,
I'm telling you.
So if he does it every week, you continue to forgive.
I'll continue to forgive him, but when I see that it's become a pattern, especially if it's with the same person, I will tell him.
Would you be a second wife, by the way?
No.
Yeah,
A second wife in terms of a man that is already married,
You don't
right?
need to. You don't need to.
Wait.
squeeze,
A man that is already married. No.
Just calm down, just.
Okay. Do you know why I said no with so much emphasis?
Why?
Because I immediately put myself in the position of the first wife.
Except, of course, if it's the first wife that has approached you, because I hear in Igbo land that sometimes happens.
The first wife will come
The
and
first wife will
approach
come
me,
and marry you for
me for her husband.
Yes.
I shall not do it.
Calm down.
It shall
It
not
was
happen.
just a question. But let me ask you: you've apart from living in the States, you spent a large part of your life living in Lagos, going to QC and so on.
Absolutely.
Do you feel any form of intimidation as an Igbo woman living in Lagos?
In me intimidated? No. I'm even.
Do you feel any form of discomfort?
I don't.
So all these things about all these
Igbo
political things about
marginalization.
Igbo marginalization.
Let me put it this way. I'm not a trader.
Yeah.
I'm not into business. The only thing I would say is that in Lagos, Igbo people stand to lose a lot because this governor's consent thing. We tend to build wherever we find ourselves. And when we do that, that's a huge investment. And we build with cash. So that means everything we got is going in there. So if that be the case, then Igbo people stand to lose a lot, because one day they can decide, you know what, that land that you bought from us at so amount, no, I don't think that amount is good again. And you think it's a joke. So that's why I tell Igbo people, Akulweno, which means if Yoruba, you're a different Yoruba person, you're a different breed. And I'm not saying it in any negative way in terms of castigating other Yoruba people.
Good,
yeah. If people don't want you in their land, which I must tell you, now I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah.
Igbo people, yes, when we are successful, we tend to brag about it.
Yeah.
And so when we brag about it, some people may not like it. And so because of that, if you're living in a foreign, in a place that is not your heritage land,
Yeah.
and you're bragging about the wealth and the riches you got, the tendency is for people to say, okay, uproot and go to your place.
You think that is part of what is happening?
But
what about the part where it appears that, talking about construction, it appears that there's this attitude that you can always override the regulations, though I'm of the opinion that the government is equally complicit. They share the responsibility 50-50 for allowing these things get to a particular level. Like what happened at the trade fair where you're bringing down complete houses. Where were you, the authorities, when these houses were being built?
Can I tell you something? What I think about the trade fair saga? I think that in the trade fair situation, that whoever is in town planning or whoever is responsible for town planning or whatever, they wanted to make money from this Amon Igbo. Ajokuta Mamomi. They wanted to get some money from them.
Or do you think that they wanted it to be something like, let them spend their money, and let us spend all their money, and then we'll move in against them?
You're absolutely correct. So they wanted, because for them to allow them to continue, they must have been giving them money intermittently, in between, to allow them to continue. So they wanted to get some money out of them, and they said, well, let them spend their money. Oma assuming, do like this to them. And that's a tendency. Yoruba people do it a lot. And again, it's not directed only to Igbo people. They do it to themselves.
Yes.
So it's just the Yoruba way.
Yeah.
So they would say, just continue. When you say, and then, so that's the tendency. But if you know people, and their tendencies. Number one, Igbo people, first of all, I'm now talking to my fellow Igbo brethren. Keep the rules. Don't break the law.
Yes.
Don't think your money will, subvent anything. No. Stay on the straight and narrow.
You still have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point.
And then they will now allow you, lead you on, okay, spend that money. Sure, you say you have money. Spend it now. Because Igbo people never used to do all these parties that Yoruba people are known for. But now Igbo people do a lot of Owambe.
Oh, yes.
So we learn a lot of things, and then we outdo the people that we learned it from.
Yeah.
So that's just it.
I also think what is painful is that these monies are obviously they're usually like cash. No bank.
That is the point.
Finance a building.
Yes.
And
they will beat their chest and say, I have this. And it's true.
Do you fear for Nigeria as a country?
I don't fear for Nigeria.
With the various divides that we have,
I don't fear for Nigeria. I'm very confident that Nigeria go better in my time, in your time.
My time is almost gone.
Uncle Jimmy, you're not going anywhere. You have
You called me Jimmy Dawson. When is time for your time? You change it to Uncle Jimmy.
Listen, it is where my train of thought is going. So, Jimmy, how's that?
But
Jimmy, you're not going anywhere.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
No, you have 50 more years. Someone like you with such a light-hearted.
I know. I don't want to. I have 50 years. I'll be left in the sun.
You'll be left.
I'll be left in the sun. Where I think Baba Wale
sunbathing. Listen, I hear you. You make all those jokes and everything. Forget it.
They put you out to dry, and forget
Jimmy,
that. Okay?
Jimmy,
You never carry my mind.
listen. You don't know the kind of mentor you are to a lot of people. You are an informal mentor to a lot of people that don't have.
I know, but I don't want to be here forever. I mean, hey.
120 years is not okay. Let's look.
Who in the Bible got to 120?
Are you kidding me?
Tell me.
Father Abraham 175. I'm telling you, Father Abraham was old and well stricken. Was wealthy and well
if you are talking 175,
even
do you want to imagine the way the world would be 100 years from now?
Listen, if God gives me 200 years, I will stay. Do you know why? Someone like you needs to replicate yourself. You are a good guy. You are an uncommon stock. And the best thing is for you to be replicated. Seeing you there is helping others. So your presence alone is doing a whole lot of good.
And that's why I should live for 175
Listen, by the time you're getting old, the Bible says that He will renew your age, that you will yield fruit in old age like a palm tree.
So do you think the Bible will bring my age back to when I was 18?
The Bible
that
is
would be
not
nice.
No.
I had a lot of energy.
Jimmy, that's not where I'm going to. Every phase of life, every phase of life has its fun part. I'm a grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
Yes.
But you still have fun, though.
Exactly.
You still look like you could do
on
this.
Point.
So if you have a guy now, the guy is in for a lot of fun.
When we get married. But before then,
before married, all they can do is
pat cake, bake. Because then he was sneaking a kiss like that. I'll say, don't do it. Bake me a cake.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I don't think I'm the guy. So
that's it. But I mean, if he sneaks a kiss in here and there, I'll tell him, you know what, I enjoy that kiss, but let's not go further than that.
What do your kids over pamper you because?
There's a pamper me and
because
I
of your,
because of my vision.
Yeah,
they pamper me because they love me and because I did the same to them when they were younger. So it's kind of like a give and take.
So you don't really feel that sense of loss that much
at all. I don't even feel any sense of loss at all.
Stevie Wonder once was told to come they could do a surgery for him to say his vision back, and said he didn't want it.
I'm not Stevie Wonder.
You're not Stevie Wonder.
I want my vision back.
At least you'd like to see me to see what
I would like to see you. I don't care what you look like, but I'd like to see you. I'd like to experience the world again. I'd like to see the blue sky again. When I went to, I'm about to tell you a beautiful story. I like telling stories. When I went, I was doing a training, at Obudu Cattle Ranch. Oh, goodness. The sky is blue, crystal clear blue. But the beautiful thing about it, not because Obudu has a beautiful sky, a cold environment, really cold environment in June. But the beautiful thing about it is that was where my late father took his bride, my mom, for their honeymoon. In 1966. So I was living their experience. I am blessed.
Where did you go? Where did you have your own honeymoon?
At Nakonoga Hilton in Abuja.
In a hotel?
Yes.
Locked up?
Oh, yes. I did that on purpose 3 days. You know what I did?
Wait, you locked him up for 3 days?
Let me tell you how I did it. And it was God. It was a divine wisdom. I have this divine, God just, gives me. So when we were about to go for the honeymoon, I said to her, let's travel light. And he said, okay. So it was just what we were wearing that we traveled in. So he was wearing casual jeans and a shirt. I was wearing my jeans and a shirt too, with my purse. And that was how we traveled to Abuja and checked in. We only stayed there 3 days at the executive, is it coach or something? That was the best, suite right there. It was 10K a night at that point.
That's a lot of money.
Yes. So I had gone there. How I knew about it because my late father was executive director at PZ. And he
Okay.
had treated me to when they did their AGM afterwards, he invited me over that, oh, come, you're not doing anything. I was doing my youth service. I was waiting to be posted. So he just invited me and I came, spent some time with him. My uncle, my cousin and her husband came, visited us, and then we checked out the next day. So just a treat. So coming there, I said, you know what, this is where I'm going to do my honeymoon. So that's it. So, but yes, my late father.
And so you were locked up for the.
Yeah, he was like, KK, I would never fall for this again.
What were you doing for the 3 days you were?
We were getting to know each other better. With the garden tub and the nice, bathroom, everything. And we were just being creative, getting to know each other better.
You had a lot to drink champagne and stuff.
No, I didn't really go in. I've never.
Do you drink though? No.
I used to drink, in my family. My late father is a lawyer. My mom is a lawyer. And we had this policy in the house. Once you turn 16, the bar is open right there in the house.
Once you turn 16?
Yes. Because it's at 16 that you can start driving.
Yes.
So once you turn 16 in my house, the bar is there. And the reason my parents had that rule is so that you don't go outside and get excited.
Yeah.
So right there, everything is there. What you want, just go.
What kind of drinks were in your dad's bar?
Remy Martin, Contru,
Wow.
Bailey's Irish cream,
Wow.
whiskey, anything you want is there. Hennessy. What if it's beer is there. Gouda, Star, malt is there. Stout is there. Anything you want. Of course, Matthew's Rose is him. My parents' signature.
Matthew's.
My
I remember
my
that.
father and his wife. And that thing. My father was a quintessential husband. My husband, the next husband I have, Father God, let him be like my father. This man, my father, goodness, he sabi toasts. I'm
So,
talking about.
The next husband you have must pass the toasting.
It's not must.
exam.
I'm just begging God. Mobe, say, Lord, please show me.
How
mercy.
do you want him to toast? Is it write letter in the garden of love where birds are singing?
No, the way
how?
my father toasted was at their okay. Even when I was in university, I will tell you the kind of things they did. When I was in university and I come back home, just coming down from upstairs, my father's legs are up on the ottoman. My mother is in between his legs on the ottoman, resting her head on her husband, something she knows send. And they are drinking and talking, sharing a beer together.
So they were quite. They were a romantic couple.
Hey! Then when we go to Ikoyi Club, because we're members of Lagos Country Club and Ikoyi Club, we live in Ipeju. So if we want, if the distance is too far, you just go to Lagos Country Club. But if you want to go to Ikoyi Club, you can go to Ikoyi Club. So we're members of both. When we go as a family, Daddy says, oh yeah, let's go to Ikoyi Club, that they have this dance. Him and his wife go, they do their blues over here. And we will be doing our disco, whatever.
But what, keeping an eye on your mom?
What am I keeping my eye on my mom when she's with her husband? She's incapable.
I thought maybe that you wanted to see what.
What am I seeing? What I already know the experience. I've seen how they behave in the house. We're not.
So did it inform how you also grew up?
Yes, in terms of, I had the expectation that my husband should be like.
How did he propose to you? He went on one knee.
He didn't want to go on one knee. The first day he
Do
just
you
said,
expect anybody to go on one knee to toast?
Yeah, I don't have any.
All those knees.
It doesn't have to be. It's not.
But what about public affection? Do you like?
I love it.
Do you like somebody to say?
Yes, as long as it's not just in public. Then when we're in the house, you will now be a different person.
Yeah, because there's people like that.
Listen, if you try that public affection with me, when you are maltreating me in the house, when you come in the public, I'll say, what? I will show it.
You cheat him.
Yes. So don't try it. It's not going to work.
But are you?
It just reminds me of one guy. I know I like to tell stories. There was this guy that was getting married to this woman. So on the wedding day, you know how Catholic people have different, long. So the Reverend Father said, okay, so now you husbands pick a sweet name that you be calling your wives. You wives pick a sweet name you be calling your husband. This man came near his wife and says, in Igbo, I will say it in Igbo, then I'll translate it. What does
that mean? Where's the Manuel? What does that mean?
He says, You better call me my name. I don't have any sweet name to call you.
Oh my God.
On wedding day.
A crude, very crude man.
So,
Do you believe in pet
my
names?
late father
Yeah.
called his wife mine. Hi.
Hey,
What other name can you call your wife?
mine.
Mine. M-I-N.
Did you call her mine in English?
Mine in English.
In English.
That's what they used to call themselves
And we were both married till the passed on.
to the last.
Day.
And then when he was dying, he told her, "You're free to marry again." Till today, she's not married. And he's been dead.
Oh, she's
over
alive.
20
Sorry.
She's alive now. She's 79 years old.
Hmm.
And he's been dead for 28 years or so.
She didn't marry again.
She didn't marry again. It's not as if nobody came to marry her.
Ah.
Yes, now somebody.
She had posters,
I
your
say-
dad's friends or
My
whatever.
mother, Olewa, say,
Pretty woman.
with nice curves. I used to sew her clothes. Waist 32, hips 50. Flat stomach, 8 children.
Flat stomach.
God spent time on that woman. They call her Asa.
Would she marry a 70-year-old man?
Who knows? But I don't know.
That's
I can ask her. So that no, my mom is also
okay.
high
Kenny,
maintenance.
just before we go,
It's already over.
yes,
I really have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Yes. Just before we
I
go,
hope I didn't leave a lot of loose ends.
no, it's the kind of stories you have to tell will never stop. We'll have to bring you back again. But just you usually comment on radio. You know,
I sure
that's
do.
how we met. So I wonder what you think of the current political development we have in the country, whether it bothers you.
Everything. First of all,
Whether it bothers you.
I'm a very incurable optimist. My classmates called me queen of positive thinking, and it's always worked for me. I think Nigeria is going to better. I think this is the opportunity I need to speak to the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is ruling, or he's governing a country that is a politician's heaven. Heaven, in that the polity, we don't demand so much.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking for him to do, those people that were casualties, that had lost their property in terms of the fire incident, the Mandilas, he needs to create funds for them, give them bailout funds. Those people that are poor and indigent, build. But
they claim that they have this cash for the vulnerable and so on and so forth. But I don't think it goes on at all.
I have a story concerning that. I'm not trying to boast or anything. I spoke to somebody. And when I spoke to somebody, I said, because before I worked with JP Morgan Chase Bank, I worked with the Texas Department of Human Services. And in that particular Department of Human Services, which, by the way, is not only localized to Texas, it's nationwide. So if you go to New York, you have New York Department of Human Services. You go to Florida, you go to Minnesota, it's in every state. And in that department, they take care of food stamps, Medicaid, and temporary assistance for needy families, which is cash. What they do is that they have specific locations people can go to, just like in those days of Better Life for Women, rural women, where you have specific locations. Go there and apply. And once you qualify, your benefits are issued out to you. Your allotment is issued in something like an EBT card, like an ATM card. So what I'm saying is that it needs to be institutionalized, not just randomly.
Yeah.
That's number one. And it should be ongoing funds that are available. So that's one thing they need to do. There's also what they call Section 8 in America, where you provide housing for the indigent. Sometimes it's FOC up, sometimes it's at a reduced rate, depending on their income, capacity. They need to do that. The income minimum wage, they need to revisit it. They say that the minimum wage, based on what is it IMF or World Bank gave, that is $2.15 a day. What is $2.15 a day? $2.15 a day times 1,500. Let's look about. It's not even more than. It's roughly if my math serves me right, is about 3,225 naira or something like that.
But the minimum wage now is 80,000.
It's still too small. So they need, because that 3,000, okay, let's do it, 3,385. If you multiply it per day, right? If you multiply it by 31 days, you get, about 9.
It doesn't even buy a bowl of beans.
There you go. And then again, that naira they floated, they need to rescind it. What was the basis? Overnight, all of a sudden, they floated naira. You know, there are certain things they did that they should rescind. This is a politician's heaven. And another thing they don't realize, when you take care of the indigent in Nigeria, you will be free to really enjoy your wealth. All these things of having to have bodyguards and all this, fix the roads, let the roads work. You know, hospitals should be fixed. Hospitals should work. The Medicaid I talked about should give them free.
What state are you from in this?
I'm from Anambra State.
And so who's your governor now?
It's Soludo.
Yeah.
And
you happy with him? Or you wish it was Governor Oti that was there?
You know, I am content with what I have, little be it or more. So
you're not looking at another man's bag.
I'm not looking at another man's. So I drink from my cistern. What I would just say for Soludo is that he should day his lane and do the right thing for his people. Let no money miss. He should live honorably. If he gets re-elected in November, so be it. If he does not get re-elected in November, he should live honorably.
Yeah.
And if he gets re-elected, he should do the right thing for him.
You're not an obedient, are you?
Eh?
Are you an obedient?
I am. Right now, I'm not even a member of any party. But
no, I mean, but in principle.
I like obedient. I like Obi. You know why I like Obi? He's the one governor that didn't live with what do they call this retirement package.
Oh, really?
He doesn't have a retirement package. And then he left money in the coffers.
Yes, 3 banks.
Yes. And at the time when he was governor, I tried to do training for Anambra State. I didn't get through because he knew that training was being used as a way of siphoning money from the government. So he shut down things that were excesses. And again, he's a man of his word. Do you know that somebody told me, who is in Soludo's administration, he told me that Obi is too stingy, that he wouldn't let his wife, when he was a governor, that he wouldn't let his wife's family drive any of the government cars. You know, like if they come to drop them off, you say no. Is it that they take public transport or their personal car or something? That is a prudent man.
And highly principled.
And I don't see, for me, there was one woman that came to him. He used to go for mass at 12 noon and he knelt down, where he normally goes for mass. And this old woman that was a retiree, she came to him. She said, God will not answer your prayer.
I'm
telling you, fearlessly. She said, that prayer you're praying, God will not answer it. And he told to her, I said, why? She said, because my pension, you have not paid me. Since then, and he didn't have any idea about it. Something he met on the ground. He went back, and from that day, nobody was owed any pension. Obi did the right thing for Anambra State. It is the hard work Obi did that everybody is benefited from.
But why does it look like Soludo is always like on his case?
Because Soludo is a professor. Obi Ejarawo.
Obi, I know. Mba.
Obi is.
I don't know what I said.
Did Obi go to work? Did Obi go to school? I don't think he didn't go to school, I think.
No, Obi is a graduate now.
What I mean is that Professor is Mahadu.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Obi Ejarawo next to him. Do you understand? Professor was governor of Central Bank. He has this thing. He's a road, whatever professor is, he has his pedigree and everything. Let me tell you something. I will sooner pick someone who has demonstrated his abilities by awards and his, what they call it, his
public acknowledgement.
And proven track record than take someone who has theoretical abilities that have not been proven and tested. But how be that? Soludo, Professor Soludo is my governor. I'll just ask him, so Professor, please, when you became governor, a lot of people were thinking that you were going to do a lot of things, make Anambra State a destination like Dubai, which also came out from your mouth, by the way. Do the right thing for your people.
Finally, I'd just like to ask very quickly if you're going to be ever involved in politics.
I would love to. Actually, would like to go into politics. I would like to be president one day.
You reckon?
I would like, amen.
It's good.
Amen. I receive it. Wolimi.
Well, I will receive it too. So the lucky dog will now be the first husband. It'll be nice.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
He'll be chairman of all the market women. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day.